So why do you keep running headfirst into the same brick wall?
What's going on, guys? LoganJYA Drytron here, and guess what we got for you? A fresh Drytron build, and this one is so easy a freaking caveman could play it, alright? It's a simple build with a clear-cut strategy that plays through Nibiru and absolutely obliterates the meta. I'm going to show you a combo on how to play through Nib at the tail end. And do me a favor, smash that like button and comment down below what deck profile or deck you want to see covered on this channel next. We're having so much fun playing Rogue as well as competitive in the year of our Lord 2024. Without further ado, we got Drytrons to cook with, so let's get to it. Alright homies, as promised, we've got Drytron so easy a caveman could do it. This build is going to be simple, perfect for beginners, but nowhere is it lacking in terms of power. And the end combo it puts up is a guaranteed game ender. So without further ado, let's jump in. Alright, rocking on with the monsters. First things first, triple alpha, triple zeta, triple gamma, and triple delta. We are maxing out on all the names. Now, of course, I mentioned this is a build that is meant to be easy to play, and one thing that makes playing Drytron easy is when you see names. In fact, the opposite issue of not seeing names is one of the easiest ways to lose with the deck. So I decided for this build we want to max out on engine. There's another reason why, and this goes into the more overall logic of the build at large. This is supposed to be as consistent as possible to do our mainline combo or a variation of it through interruption. And how do you play through interruption? By seeing engine. And this build, why I say it's really good for beginners is because it's going to get you into the habits of using your engine to play through challenges and still put up interruptions boards or breakthrough boards. So that's the whole logic behind this build, and it's also built for this current format, thinking about real meta contenders and problematic decks we have to deal with right now, those being Fire, Centurion, Yubel. We got to stay ready for them. So I think the best strategy right now, max out that engine. Now moving into rituals, we got one copy of Big Daddy Draconids. Not going to cut them, not going to do it. Someone said to do it in the last comments, we're not doing it. Moving on, one copy of Herald of Perfection and one copy of the Chaos Max. So this combo is one of the greatest combos that Drytron has ever had access to. An Alpha Zeta line that puts up your Perfection, backed up by the Chaos Max lock. You can do it playing around Super Poly, playing around Nibiru. You still do the lock through Nib. It's insane. Now, why is this build maybe fallen out of favor? Well, for some, it could be the super polymerization issue, the increased play of things like Forbidden Droplets. Now, mind you, that's a card Drytron has always struggled with. But for me, thinking about it right now, going into this format, I think that Perfection gives you a lot of blanket coverage for those weird one-off matchups where maybe Chaos Max isn't going to take care of the job. You got your Runic decks. Yeah, you know, you're going to want to lean more on your Perfection side than your Chaos Max side. And then Chaos Max deals with literally everything else. So yeah, overall, I'm thinking this is a pretty strong pick for right now. Moving on the ritual lineup, we're going to go through it real quick. Triple copies of the beautiful Ben 10. Follow her up with her cousin Natasha, who helps us close out games, win in time, steal your opponent's entire board. Now for our normal summons, of course, this is a Perfection build. We got our boy Choju. It is the pre-preparation of rights on legs and one copy of Diviner. I really wanted to cut this card. I really did. I wanted those 2 slots back in the extra, and I was too much of a Weenie Hut Generals to actually cut this card. If you guys can think of a way or some good logic to try and convince me to get this guy out of here, please do let me know. Because I don't like dedicating 2 extra deck slots to a 1-of. But every time and time again, I come back and I say, sometimes I really need to normal summon this, send Entis, and pop a problem card. And if I take this card out, I give up a very important point of removal that I won't have access to. So maybe I'm overthinking it. You guys let me know in the comments down below. And the last monster, we got triple copies of the Herald of the Orange Light. This is a Perfection build. We need fuel for it. Orange Light's going to be one of your best search targets and one of the best cards you can hard because it lets you play more resiliently through hand traps. You can change how you do your combos depending on how you open. Orange is going to be one of those cards that determines how you play out your hand. And that's only going to come with practice, everybody. Now let's speed things up as we move on through our spell cards. Triple copies of the Drytron Nova free special summon from deck, along with one copy of Medionis Drytron, our beautiful ritual spell. Use it twice in the turn. And one copy of Dawn of the Herald to summon out Perfection and get a free add back. Very important for the mainline combo. Moving on, for consistency purposes, we got triple copy Cyber Emergency subs in for any one of your names. Y'all should know that. Going second gas, we've got triple copies of the Forbidden Droplets. It's a very good card going first or second. You set that guy in the back row, not a big deal. Anything that is problematic, whether it be the Brandeds putting up that gimmick puppet lock, or Centurion trying to King Calamity you, Droplets is the answer. And then we move on from there. We got triple copies of the Talent as well, triples. It makes sense because this is a very strong going first or going second card. I said consistency was paramount with this build. I have only have it down to these 6 going first / going second cards. They sub in for both, they do double duty, but again, consistency is the name of the game here, and these will function in both aspects. We want to lean into the engine for going second, okay? And these cards, we can just see one of them, and them plus engine oftentimes can break even the biggest of boards. Last 2 cards to close things out. 1 copy is Sacked by the Grave, and 1 Foolish Burial to send whatever you need it to be. Sometimes you can find yourself sending a Ben 10 or a Chaos Max. Just know it does come up. That's everything for the main. Let's rock on to the extra. Starting things off, 2 copies of the Moy Beta Male Fafnir. There's nothing beta about this guy, though. 1 copy of Big Daddy Zeus, sending those boards to the graveyard. 1 Fuko, or you know what we like to call her, in case you get drolled or shiftered. Now, Droll has taken a back seat in this format. Call me crazy, I haven't been seeing a lot of Droll in topping lists or in side decks. Bro, that's why I put this build together. It felt so right now. Now, we can play around Droll. I'm just going to tell you guys this one, but, you know, there's plenty of combo tutorials on it. With this build, games 2 and 3, you want to be searching out your Chaos Max as your first thing, and that's going to help you play around that Droll. But I digress. Fuko, when you get hit with it at suboptimal times, throw this guy up, you're guaranteed to live. Also very good against those Tempais. What do they say to this guy? Oh, they better have a Kaiju. Then finally, we got the Beatrice for the Exceeds, because sometimes you got those one-name hands, you still need a combo. Sometimes you'll even find yourself overlaying with your Herald of Perfection into Beatrice so you can get more Drytron cards online. Moving on to the links, we got 1 of the Anima Mr. Suck. Sometimes you just gotta suck and you need a link 1 sometimes to put your names engraved. Double copies of Mr. Dynamundo. I decided to dedicate another slot to the second Dynamundo exclusively for the fact if you need to, you can Chaos Max your opponent again. And that feels pretty good. I want to be ready for grindier matchups. Listen, Orchist is a very real contender and that deck is grindy. Same thing goes for the likes of Sky Strikers, Yubel, Unchained. There are so many grindy decks out there where, hey, maybe 1 turn skip isn't going to be enough to knock them down. So let's hit them with it again. Simple as that. Then we got IP and IP's expensive cousin, Little Knight. Is she going down in price yet? I don't know, I haven't checked. 1 copy of the Apollosa. I decided I want to spend a slot on this guy as well as an alternative end board piece or something to tag IP into. A lot of matchups where she can spell game on her own. 1 copy of Boral Sword, Walking Man Boral Sword. Look at him. He's walking right up to your life points. And then the last link we play is the Underworld Goddess. I, again, decided to dedicate a slot to this one because I didn't want to auto-lose to certain Towers monsters. We do have ways we can squeak by some of them. Draco Nids can be an out, but I just wanted to have a free out. And then the last 2 cards that it sucks we have to dedicate in our extra deck is the 1 copy of Entis and the 1 copy of Arclight. It never feels like we have enough space. Moving on to the side deck, we got 1 copy of Lancia. It is searchable, so you can tell those Flunder players, those Cash players to go suck it. We got triple copies of Lava Golem blowing out big boards. And then we steal it with Natasha. This is an interesting one. I've done this before and I'm doing it again. Triple copies of Ash in the side. Branded is scary. I just gotta say that. I think that's me saying enough. Branded is scary. And there's a lot of matchups where generically you can bring in Ash and it will do things and it will feel good. Even against Tempai, it's not terrible. There's another case you can make to replace this slot with Ogre. I think that's very fair. It's just covering different bases than what the Ash is. But given the fact that I'm scared of Branded as a matchup, I wanted to play the Ash on the side. Moving on, spell cards, 2 copies of the Cosmic and the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. This kind of become my golden ratio when it comes to spell and trap removal on the side. And now we got some trap cards, and these are some good ones. We're leaning into the Jordy Wang logic and embracing triple copies of the Grave of the Super Ancient Organism in the side deck. I just said Branded is scary. You know what else is scary? Those freaking Tenpais. Such a beta trash deck. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. But you know what flips on the bird? This card right here. Good luck trying to Black Rose me with this on the field. Good luck trying to kill me with this on the field. Absolute joke. It gives you the turn that you need to come back around and clean up. all right? Super easy. And that's only if you're not able to chaos lock them, because yes, they are going to try and hand trap you to death. If you get shifted by them, this is your backup plan, baby. This, as well as your other side deck card, 2 more copies of Dimension Barrier to round us out. Yeah, we don't like Tempais here. We don't like them at all. We also don't like Branded. So we're super duper ready for those matchups. All right, that's everything for the profile, but I promised you guys a combo, so let's round this out. It might be one that you've seen before, but I think it's important to remind, especially as we're showing how easy this build of Drytron is to play. Ladies and gentlemen, how do all good stories start? With Alpha and Zeta. All right, my friends, we're going to start off this combo Alpha pitch Zeta-like, so grabbing off our Ben 10s. Now, you might have seen this one before, but for our beginners out there, you're going to want to know it, and I'm telling everyone this is an important reminder that this combo slaps in the current format, okay? Give this build a try. You're going to be getting drolled less. You're going to be surprised. You might be getting shifted sometimes, but you're still going to be okay, all right? Trust me. We're going to go Zeta effect Engrave, pitch off that Ben 10 special disjoint back, searching off the Medionis. Ben 10 effect, going to grab you your Choju, absolute classic. Overlay these 2 for the Moy Beta on top. Moy Beta effect is going to send off your Gamma. Now here's the thing, if you do get stopped on your Moy Beta, guess what? Your combo is not dead. You can still summon back your Ben 10, tribute off for your Choju, and do an alternate combo line there. You're not dead in the water, don't you worry about it, but that may be the first point where they try and hit you with the Imperm, just stay aware. But next we'll go Medionis, detach, summon back off that Ben 10, and then we are going to tribute that Ben 10 for our Choju. We are going to use both their effects to search, and we are going to grab ourselves a Perfection for the Ben 10, which is chain blocking our Choju, which is grabbing us a Dawn of the Herald, as well as the Chaos Max. Important to search the Chaos Max here, because how the heck else are you going to get it? This is your last search for a Ritual Monster. Make it count. And now we're going to do a quick duel demonstration, okay? So this is the worst time for our opponent to hit us with the Nibiru if we don't have additional fodder in hand or an orange light or hard-drawn fairies. Opponent hits us with the Nibiru word, okay? So let's say they drop the nib here and we're left off with a token on the board, like so. So they hit us with the nib and we got the token. Well, guess what? It's no big deal. We still have these extra monsters in our hand. What we're going to do is we're going to use Gamma's effect in the graveyard, tribute off that Chaos Max, summon him back itself and any other name, reduce to add back for Medionis. Then we can use our Medionis, immediately rip it off, sack these 2 off for the Chaos Max, summon them back, and then we can use the Nibiru token that they gave us and our Chaos Max to go straight for our Dynamondo. And then, of course, if you don't know what this does, we sack it off in their draw phase or standby, bring back our Chaos Max, rotate it one more time, and now they're locked out of monster effects. But let's wind back the clock real quick. And let's just say this Nibiru was nowhere to be seen. So in that case, we resolve off the Dawn. It's going to tribute off the Choju, special out our Perfection, our safety net. And then we can use Dawn's effect, banish it, to add back to Choju. That gives us our live negate to insulate the remainder of our plays. Now we can use Gamma's effect in the graveyard, sacking off that Chaos Max from our hand, summoning back itself and any other name from the grave. Medionis' effect in the graveyard, reduce to add back to hand. Next, I'm going to activate that Medionis. I'm going to do something interesting here because I told you all we're playing around Super Poly. I'm actually going to use both of these monsters on the field to sack off for our Chaos Max. We are trying to make maximum room, and that's because going straight up into our Dynamondo is going to get the job done for us. Boom. So we've got the Omni Negate set up with our Perfection, protects us from Imperm in the opponent's draw phase. Not droplets, but it does protect from the Imperm. And then we go off in their draw phase for the Dynamondo effect, summon back the Chaos Max, and then immediately tribute off Chaos Max to lock them. And we're doing that while we are safe from the super polymerization because our attributes play around the most common super poly targets. Now, if they hit you with something weird, listen, don't blame me, all right? I'm just telling you what makes sense to me. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the combo, and I hope you decide to give this build to Drytron a try because I'm telling you, it's a killer, even right here and now, 2024, in the current format. Leave a like, let me know what you want to see next in the comments down below. Without further ado, LoganJYA Drytron signing off. Have a great day, and we'll see you beautiful people later. Peace.